I am so glad that I finally get to talk about something Kinnikuman on this channel. It's been a childhood favorite of mine ever since I viewed it on Foxbox every Sunday back in the early 2000s.
Catch an all-new Ultimate Muscle later this morning, only in the Foxbox.
Over the years, you may have heard me describe certain games as having an early Saturday morning cartoon feel to them. Just know that these were the shows I was referring to when I said that. And also know that that is a huge compliment. Are the shows ridiculous? You betcha. Is the writing hilarious? Absolutely.
What a brat! If my son talked like that, I'd beat him to within an inch of his life. I'd whip him senseless with my belt. I'd hold his head in the toilet till he was begging for mercy. I still don't see why the judge cut off my visitation rights.
In the States, a lot of the times they would also make their own English theme songs. And man, they were so cool. It's an era that's long gone, sadly, but all that plays a role into why I love these anime so much. And one of my favorites during this era has to be Kinnikuman, or Ultimate Muscle as it was called in the States. This series originally started in 1979 as a manga that told the story of Kinnikuman, or Suguru Kinniku, a prince that was accidentally tossed out of a spaceship as a child after his father mistook him for a pig. He's a very comical and clumsy type of character who only really cares about beautiful women, superhero stuff, and gyudon. He even wrote a whole song about his love for gyudon. Now he must take his rightful place on the throne, but to get there he must enter a wrestling tournament and defeat superpowered characters that came from all across the galaxy, and the story goes from there. In 1998, we got the return to the series with Kinnikuman Nisei, which translates to Kinnikuman the Second Generation, or Ultimate Muscle as a lot of us know it as. A group of devil Chojin calling themselves the DMP attack Earth. The Justice Chojin try to stop them, but due to their old age, they do not stand a chance against the younger generation. So they decide to train up a new generation of warriors. This series follows Mantaru, Kinnikuman's son. The Kinnikuman series has gone on to release lines of action figures which look so cool, but I'm just so broke and can't afford them, and have had many video game releases, two of the most notable being Ultimate Muscle Legends vs. the New Generation in 2002 for the Nintendo GameCube, and Galactic Wrestling featuring Ultimate Muscle for the PlayStation 2 in 2004, both of which were great in their own right. However, what I want to talk about today is Kinnikuman Muscle Grand Prix Max 2 Tokumori, a Japanese PS2 exclusive fighting game developed by Aki Corporations and published by Bandai Namco. Aki Corp worked on some of the most beloved wrestling games throughout gaming history, and even the Def Jam games, so it's no surprise that Kinnikuman Muscle Grand Prix Max 2 and the other two games that I just mentioned are great as well. It really lives up to the intensity and over-the-top ridiculousness of the anime, all the way down from the special attacks down to the announcer whenever you pick a character. It really gets you going. I love that. This Kinnikuman title is more of a fighting game, whereas Ultimate Muscle on GameCube and Galactic Wrestling on PlayStation 2 were definitely more wrestling than fighting games, and also had an arcadey and wacky feel to the gameplay, while also being far more pick up and play. There's no fighting outside the ring, jumping off the top ropes, pinning opponents, and so on. Muscle Grand Prix is definitely more of a quote-unquote hardcore fighting game that requires you to actually learn how to use your character. It's more in line with 3D fighters like Tekken and Soul Calibur than anything else. Square is to attack, triangle is to grab, circle is for specials, and X is to block. However, you can attack in directions to change your combos or what moves you'll use. You can also input many different grab combinations based on the character's moveset. Some of the characters will even have very specific inputs to do to follow through on a grab or a special attack. You can do multiple different grabs regularly, but when inputting certain grab commands near the ropes, for example, you can incorporate the ropes into the gameplay for some really cool special grabs. So cool. A lot of the attacks also require you to input the right commands to see the special attacks all the way through. They're definitely worth taking the time to learn, one, because they deal out a lot of damage, and two, they're always a joy to see play out in the ring. So many anime games at the time and even now understand that you just want to play as your favorite characters and do some cool moves from the show without too much commitment involved. Where if you know one character, you pretty much know how to use all of them with some slight differences that will take just a few seconds to pick up on and understand. That really isn't the case here, as so many of the characters play totally different from each other, so you're definitely going to have to lab here a little bit in the training mode. It's a really nice middle ground to where fans should be able to get some fun out of it after understanding the basics of quarter circles, half circles, and dragon inputs, as well as people already more into the fighting game genre. What I really like about this game is that it also has music from the anime. Do we get big bad boys from outer space? Well, no. This is a Japanese only game. But we do get Hustle Muscle, Kinnikuman Go Fight, and most importantly, Zudadan, Zudadan, as well as some other fight music from the anime, which more than makes up for it. It really brings a whole other level of immersion to the game when you hear those familiar brass instruments that the series loves so much. The game has an arcade mode that will take you from match to match, fighting all different types of characters in beautiful locations. And let me just say, I'm a sucker for PlayStation 2 visuals. This game, it does something to me. But I like how everything in this game looks. From the backgrounds, the characters, even the way the characters are animated is extremely buttery. I will say the arcade mode has a crazy difficulty spike that happens near the end. I found myself having to restart at least a good 10 to 15 times before being able to advance. But that's the thing about this game. The combat system is so incredibly fun, and the over-the-top character designs and gameplay really puts a smile on your face even when you're losing. I mean, look at this. Look at how everybody reacts to my downfall. There's even an evil cassette player, Wrestler. What will they think of next? Wonderful. Muscle Grand Prix 2 also comes loaded with 2 Famicom games for those of you that are interested. I played for about a good 3 minutes and then immediately went back to getting my back destroyed in the arcade mode. For some more fanservice-y fun, as you progress throughout the arcade mode, you can unlock some artwork that you can view in the gallery, which is cool if you're a fan of the series. This is the game any Kinnikuman fan could ask for. There is so much for you here. With a roster of 39 playable characters spanning the original series as well as Kinnikuman Nisei or Ultimate Muscle, some with drastically different alternate costumes, music and location from the series, and some really tight, responsive, and fun gameplay. You will really get your money's worth out of this game. And honestly, even if you're not a Kinnikuman fan and you just enjoy fighting games, this definitely comes highly recommended by me. You'll have to dish out some extra money to buy either a swap magic disc or a Japanese PS2 with a copy of this game to be able to play and enjoy it. I personally think it's worth the investment. There's a lot of cool Japanese games that we just never got in the States, so you could always use it for more than just Kinnikuman Muscle Grand Prix Max 2 Tokumori. Anyways, let me know what you all think, and I will catch you all on the next video. Take care, thanks for watching, have a good one.
牛丼一筋300年早いのうまいの安いの